I think he said Whiteman Park is a hoot. Come to EnviroFest 2024. Learn about Whiteman Park's birds and discover ways to improve your sustainability with hands-on workshops and demonstrations. Plus, there'll be market stalls, food trucks and heaps of kids' activities. EnviroFest 2024 at Whiteman Park on March 23 from 10 till 3. You'd be wise to go to whitemanpark.com.au.
Wake up. Get ready.
Get through the morning every day. Every morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adelaide's Jodie and Hazy on Nova.
As you like to say, Andrew Hayes, something came across my desk that piqued my interest, i.e. I was perusing the internet, and I discovered a sex addict mum.
Oh, why did that prick your interest?
So she's from the UK, and she said that for many, many years, all that she could think about all day long was mummy, daddy time each and every day. Have a listen.
How many times a day? That's what we're asking.
At least five.
Five.
At least, and that wasn't enough.
At least,
because I only actually got relief from the obsessive thoughts during the act of sex.
Yeah, it's definitely not my wife.
No. 5 times a day. I obsessively think about avoiding it 5 times a day.
Yeah, great, sweet. So it's not just my wife who's got the same mindset.
No, once you're married for a little while, it can become a little bit chore-ish.
Yes.
Let me just say that.
I've discovered that as well. When you're a 5-3-year-old and a 5-month-old,
Yeah.
I can understand why it's on the back burner.
Yeah. Well, it's not forefront in the cerebral cortex or whatever that thing, your brain. I have some obsessive thoughts, speaking of your brain.
Yeah.
I cannot stop thinking about food preparation. I'll say that again because you look confused. I can't stop thinking about food preparation.
What do you mean?
And recipes and what I'm going to cook for the next meal and what's for dinner, etc., etc. Not just for today, but what's for dinner on Tuesday, what's for dinner on Wednesday. This is where my head's at.
That's a genuine passion.
Yeah.
For people.
Yeah.
I just eat the food.
That your wife prepares for you? Because she's probably obsessively thinking about that and not sex.
For the exactly. So, I mean, there is some positives in the situation, I suppose.
Just to give you a bit of an insight into my psyche, this is what's going round and round and round in my brain.
1/2 cup cashews, 3/4 cups water, 1/3 cup olive oil, and blend. Then I add some more cashews. I'm worried it's not thick enough. Then I do 1/2 cup nutritional yeast, the juice of 2 lemons. Then I do 1 teaspoon salt. I do 1.5 teaspoons each of dried dillweed, dried chives,
Dillweed.
garlic powder, and about 1/2 teaspoon onion powder.
Oh, the onion
Vegan
powder.
ranch dressing.
That's the kicker, isn't it? Look at you in your happy place right now.
That reminds me, I'll have to pick up some dillweed after the show.
Of course, yeah.
Dillweed? What the hell's dillweed? So that is what I'm thinking about. And incidentally, while I was perusing TikTok trying to find the next recipe that I'm going to make for the family, I came across your Scottish wife, Cara, and her children. This is what they have to say about her cooking. Do you want to hear?
This is what my mum made for dinner. It's rotten. She's f***ed it up.
Oscar!
What?
If you don't bloody like it, you can make your own f***ing dinner.
Oh my God, that was actually last night. That dead set happened last night. Cara prepared a delicious roast chicken, which we don't happen very often. And I was like, I am in heaven. I'm living like a king. And the feedback from the kids was brutal.
God, it's just, I feel like wringing their little necks when they do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, so do you know what thought has gone into that? I went to the supermarket, I brought the food, I came home and I prepared it and I'm tired, so shut up and eat it.
Yeah.
That's the vibe.
It was good as well. I ended up eating the kids' dinner as well.
Did
so
you?
There's a positive from that
That
situation.
worked that
also.
well.
Yeah.
Do you have something that you sort of are fixated on and that you obsessively daydream about?
Yeah, would you believe it, Joe? It's at this time of the year as well, particularly when we're hovering around round 1 and opening round. There's a lot of football circulating in my brain.
Yeah.
And it's sort of veering over to the point where I'm dreaming about it each and every night.
Really?
I think there's certainly been a couple of times where Cara's looked over at me and I've got this giant smile on my face.
Yeah, okay.
Pitching an almighty tent. And she's thinking, what's he thinking about? Well, I'll tell you what's going on in my little beautiful brain.
Horn Francis, brilliant pickup. Horn Francis breaks a gap. Horn Francis for the goal of the night. Jason Horn Francis.
Connor Rosé mesmerised the ball and kicked one of the goals of the year in your wildest dreams.
At that stage, Jodes, I'm really starting to twitch in my sleep. And then all of a sudden, bang. And I woke up morning, Cara, new sheets, please.
Yeah. In the meantime, she's dreaming about roast chicken.
What an adventurous couple we are.
Girls, I really need a chit chat. Let's have a chit chat. It is so time for a chit chat.
Let's go, girls.
Let's go, girls. Deep.
Let's do this. That was newsreader Abby just doing some moves, some Britney moves, I presume.
Yeah.
Was that the knives around the pole Instagram?
Oh, that's what that was.
I just chopped my nipples off.
Yeah. Careful those nipples.
Unfortunate.
That's what can happen.
What have we told you about bringing machetes into the studio?
Sorry, I'll stop.
I don't want you to be absent from our party tonight because you've got a nipple injury.
Watch this space. Anyway.
Oh, dear. If you do see Abby at the Fringe Fiesta tonight, make sure you check on their welfare of her nipples. Everybody. Okay, that brings us to Chick Chat. So we've got newsreader Abby. Single this week or we hooked up?
No, well, the General and I are together now.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Okay. Our security peacock from the Say Good Day, have a latte and stay for a night cafe. It's on like Donkey Kong.
Hey, baby.
It's always
Producer Zoe, happily single and very career-driven and super successful at it, I have to say. In your 20s, aren't you, Del?
I am.
How much longer for?
I'm mid right now. I'm 25.
25.
Yeah.
You can still be mid to what, 26?
Yeah, I've
And
got
then
one more year
27 you
before
were
I'm in
late.
my late 20s, and that makes me feel ill.
Okay. And you had a conversation with some girlfriends. You had a little weekend away
I
in
did.
Brisbane Vegas, didn't you?
Yeah, the girls in Brisbane
Yeah, the
Vegas.
girls.
Yeah, the girls. I went to Brizzy for an engagement party with about 6 girlfriends, so it was lots of chicks and lots of chatting. And we stayed in an Airbnb, and we'd had a couple of sherbets, and we were chatting all things relationships, going through a pretty recent breakup. So they were asking how I'm going, blah, blah, blah. And the subject came up of how long should you wait after a relationship to start dating other people, specifically to get in your next relationship. And we had really different opinions amongst the 6 of us. Like, it was quite a gap, I guess. And we're all the same age, sort of similar stage. So I thought, I better ask my girls, Jodes and Abby.
Yeah. So where do you sit with it all?
Well, I very much believe you need to give it some time. I think do whatever you want, for a hobby. But when it comes to an actual relationship, I think you've got to give it some time because you've got to fix yourself before you can love someone else.
Very well
Do you know what I mean? Like fishing or something, like some outside hobbies.
Yeah. You just get dressed up, few drinks, hobbies.
Yeah, like sewing classes, that sort of thing.
Sewing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, some people do that as a hobby, don't they?
You throw the line out and you just see
what comes.
See if you get a nibble lapse.
That's
You
it.
get a little nib.
That's it.
Sometimes you get a carp, sometimes you get a mackerel. Who's to say?
Sometimes you get a crab.
A lot of carp out there. A lot of carp out there.
Heaps of
Sorry,
carp.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I need to straighten up.
Where do you sit with it, Abs, in terms of how long do you have to wait from a serial dater? How long?
Okay, so there's a thing out there that says you should wait half the time of how long your relationship went for. So, for example, if you were together with someone for a year, you should wait 6 months.
Oh, give us a spell.
Oh, you don't like that?
No, it depends on the circumstances. That's a long time.
Well, that's it.
I'm not talking marriage.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, if you're just going for a bit of a fish and a bit of a hobby and to see what carp's out there, yeah, fine, whatever, a few weeks, cool. If you're looking for a relationship, then maybe, and like you said, you need to do the work, you need to get your head clear because, as we know, going through a breakup is crap.
Yeah.
And it really throws your self-confidence, your self-worth and all of the things, and you need to work on those to then be able to attract a better caliber human.
Yeah.
So, but, there is the other saying that to get over someone, you get under someone.
Goodness
I just feel like it depends if you're the dumper or the dumpee.
Also a good point.
If you've been dumped, go your hardest. Do what you want to do. You have no obligation or responsibility to the person who dumped you. However, if you were the dumpee, then I'd be a little conscious of how you're going to make that other person feel.
Especially in an age of social media and such where you find out pretty quickly if, all that sort of gear.
If your ex is, on dating apps and stuff, which isn't a nice feeling at all, especially if you've been together for a significant amount of time.
13 24 10, let's do this morning. How long do you have to wait to enter a new relationship just before you go, Abs? Like, what sort of bait do you use when you go fishing? I'm curious.
With the peacock, it was just I put a bit of my hair on a rod and threw it out there.
Okay.
Oh, there it goes.
Made sure I smelled nice.
Yeah.
And that got him over the line.
Yeah,
big
right.
time.
Yeah.
How'd you go in Brisbane? Did you catch any toadfish up there? Or?
No, I came across a carp or two.
Did you?
Yeah, I might have. I might have.
Just a little nibble?
I might have had a nibble.
You caught any carp over the journey there, Joe?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, guess what, mate? You've been the carp.
Oh, gosh. I am the carp. Oh, my gosh. I'm so bony. Not enough meat. Just all bones. 13 24 10. When is it okay to move on from a relationship? Morning, Kirsty.
Kirsty, how long do you have to wait when a relationship ends before you...
I don't know. I think we all know emotionally when we're ready, don't we?
Yes.
So, but you do have a bit of fun to start off with, and I think that's important as well after a long relationship. So I met my partner 5 months after, and we've been together for 11 years and have a daughter together.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And my previous relationship was 15 years and I was married. So
Wow. Okay.
But I do think you can. Some people, and you hear this quite often, Kirsty, don't you? Where some people just start out with the intention of just, I'm not interested in a relationship. I'm just having a bit of fun, blah, blah, blah. But then it can quickly turn into something.
Agreed. You just got to be open-minded to it, I think. I think originally a lot of people were so scorned, which I definitely was for a while, but you get over it. And then if you meet the right person, they help you to heal, don't they?
Yes, absolutely, Kirsty.
What a beautiful message. Well done, Kirsty.
All about it. I don't want to throw you under the bus here, but you were just a bit blasé when you met Cara, weren't you? Just like, I'm not really keen on anything too serious.
Yeah, she was coming out of a very long relationship as well. So we're both in a space where it wasn't forced.
Yeah.
So I think I wasn't like, now I'm looking for a girlfriend. So it was it was...
Just organically
It was
grew.
organic.
Yeah.
It was absolutely organically groomed.
Yeah, that's nice.
Are you saying that you both went fishing and caught a catch?
Yes.
Oh,
We
nice.
caught each
Catch
other.
of the day.
Yes.
Isn't
She
it?
caught a delicious carp and and I caught a really prime mackerel.
You got a salmon.
Yeah.
She's elite. There's something not quite right in that fishery analogy, and she's done a hell of a lot worse than you did.
Sometimes a carp and a salmon can swim in the same bowl.
Tracy, how long do you have to wait, Trace?
Well, I agree with Kirsty, actually.
Okay.
I came out of a marriage, and I kind of found my partner also, and then we waited 3 years, and now we've been together 17 years, and we've got 2 beautiful children.
Nice.
There you go.
That's perfect.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tracy.
I think what the message here is that true love is blind, and you never know where it's coming from, and there's no rules.
No.
Here's what you're waking up to, Adelaide.
In the news today.
Breaking news.
What's in the news today?
Your post-snooze news.
Can be overwhelming when you turn on your phone in the morning and you try and work out, well, what do I really need to know today? The only thing you need to know is that you should turn to newsreader Abby for the key parts of information to start your day. Go, Abs.
This is quite a confronting story. Let's hope that it all works out okay. But basically, there's a rescue underway at the moment at a Victorian gold mine. So at Mount Clear, there was around 20 or around 31 workers who got trapped yesterday afternoon. 29 of them made it out, but 2 couldn't get out. One has since been rescued and has been flown to hospital with life-threatening injuries. The other one is still underground, so there was a rock fall, essentially, which is what's happened. And this just brings back memories from...
Beaconsfield.
Back in 2006, we had the Beaconsfield tragedy, and that, you just wonder how in this day and age we're back to this, however many years later.
Yeah.
Hopefully everything's okay. Hopefully the worker who is underground and still trapped can make it out and they can get to him. But yeah, very confronting.
Gosh. The only thing the thing that stood out about Beaconsfield was, can you remember when David Koch flew down there and then they were in the back of the ambulance? So Koch and his camera jumped in the back of the ambulance.
Wow.
I remember that.
There you go.
Oh,
He got a bit of stick for that.
He sure did.
Yeah.
And I would dare say rightfully so. These guys have just been pulled out of a mine after how many days? Anyway,
fingers crossed. But yeah, it's a huge story out of Victoria this morning, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah. All right. Jazz, what do you got?
Well, an Adelaide United star has dropped to his knee in the middle of the turf at Cooper's Stadium, not for a slide tackle or anything like that. Andrew Hayes, he proposed to his fiancée.
Hey.
So Josh Cavallo posted on his Instagram page, starting this year with my fiancé after popping the question.
That's nice.
Isn't that lovely?
Yes.
Yeah.
Josh recovers from an injury.
Oh, I didn't know he was injured.
Getting back on the park ASAP, but off the pitch, doing some very beautiful things.
And
Nice.
he wrote Mr. and Mr. coming soon.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
That is
Thank
nice.
you at Adelaide United for helping set up this surprise.
How many times do you reckon that proposal's happened at Cooper's?
Oh, not many.
Not many.
Not a heap, I don't
At
think.
Reds games?
Yeah. I was going to tell you a story about the first time I got married, but you're just going to give me stick about it, so I'm not going to bother.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Was the stadium even built in the 60s?
Whoa. There we go. It was most definitely before Adelaide Oval was refurbished, though.
Do you want to tell it in short? This is a safe space. It's Thursday. It's an extra safe space on a Thursday.
No, I don't feel like it's a safe space. That's the problem, so I'm not going to tell it.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
That's all right.
Move on. What else you got?
No problems. Let's talk Taylor Walker. He's not going to play on the weekend.
Oh, okay.
Back spasms.
Yeah.
And then had a bit of a fitness session yesterday. Had to do a bit of a running session and pulled up stumps very, very early. And then late in the day, Matthew Nicks completely ruled him out.
Oh.
I'll tell you what, changed my tips.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, the Crows beating Gold Coast. And now that Tex is out, I'm going to go in favour of the Suns. Because when he is on, even when he's not on, he's one of the best, if not the best forwards in the competition.
Yeah, okay.
He's a freak.
All
Just
right.
because one's out doesn't mean they're going to lose.
Yeah, but the Gold Coast had a really good, was it opening round? Who's to say? Opening match, opening round one, round half, who knows?
Seriously, though.
Anyway, they won their first game.
Have some faith.
Yes. Well, Thilthorpe's out, and now Tex is out as well.
Oh, well, now all right, well, we're screwed then.
It's a very depleted forward line.
I'm changing my tips too.
Yeah.
What is everyone tipping in? I know you're doing the advertiser. What are you tipping in?
Myself.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Give us some tips. Give us some life tips, would you, Abs? Speaking of, Jodes, supercoachtips.com.au, all the selections in the advertiser today.
Oh, right.
Check out my tips. I got one last week.
Yep.
I got one. Like a blind monkey would tip better than that. Unbelievable.
I didn't know that the Supercoach people would allow you to change your tips when they announced that one of the key players is out for the Adelaide Crows.
It hadn't been announced, though.
Oh,
yes.
But you had inside information?
Well, we're in communication. We just with guys who were out at training watching it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Righto. Anyway.
Have I done something illegal?
Yes.
Feels like it. Okay.
If you, I'll be investigating.
Okay.
I'll launch an official Supercoach investigation.
Oh, right, jeez.
Isn't that insider trading?
Isn't it?
Maybe.
Feels a bit like it.
When you're on one tip, though, one correct tip, you take what you can get.
Yeah.
I bet you the Crows win this week. I bet you they win.
We've got the old Wolf of Wall Street here in the AFL world.
Yeah, not quite that corrupt.
Battle of the Bangers.
This is as fierce as it gets. Right now, it is 4 apiece and Battle of the Bangers. And what we do is we select a song just to get you in the right sort of zone, the right frame of mind to enter the weekend, because we played at 8 o'clock on a Friday morning.
Yeah. And we have a theme each and every week. And this week's theme, footy pump-up songs.
Yeah. Footy pump-up songs. We could have started last week, but it was a bit of a anti-build-up because both Port and the Crows weren't playing. So now it feels like round one.
Now we're ready.
Okay.
Now we're good to go.
Take us through your song. What have you got?
Okay, so I remember reading once that one of the captains of one of the clubs, I'm not going to specify who because I will alienate the other club and I don't want to do that because I want to embrace both clubs here in South Australia. Anyway, one of the captains at one time said this is the song that he listens to before he goes out into battle for his club.
Okay. Former captain?
Yep.
It was Tex Walker, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
It was Sloaney, wasn't
No.
it?
Incorrect.
Okay. Foo Fighters, Pretender. That's a very, very good song. I love that.
I can imagine listening in those big Bose headphones that they have. That would get you fired up.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Come on.
Okay.
I'm going to run through a brick. Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so we've got the Pretender up against this absolute classic. That's right. Numb, Encore, Linkin Park, Chuck and Jay-Z as well. Absolute banger.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what's going on? It's like there's a hummingbird just outside the studio. Oh, no, that's right. That's producer Zoe dancing because she's so into it.
I'll have words with her.
Producer Emily.
I've just got a fun fact for this one. Jodes went with the Pretender last year.
Oh.
In Battle of the Bangers.
Yeah, how'd it go?
I just went back and did some research. It lost to Life is a Highway.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Yeah,
How could I forget that?
controversial.
No, do you know why?
Little Tommy Cochran classic.
Oh my God, I just blocked that. That's like a bad relationship that you block out of your consciousness because you don't want to think about it. I cannot believe that happened. That can't happen again. Pretend is a cracking song.
I just assumed that I sold it. I just assumed I sold it really well.
Oh God! All right. Well, jump on the Jodie and Hazy Instagram page. Please don't let a travesty like last year's loss to Life is a Highway happen again.
Yes. All right. So you got Numb Encore versus The Pretender. Get voting tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. Jump on at Jodie and Hazy.
And
cast
don't be
your vote.
ironic in your vote either, just because you want to see me lose again with this cracking tune.
I completely forgot about that.
Oh, so did I.
Tommy Cochran. Let's get him back on Nova.
Oh, I'm in the corner in the fetal. What?
Winners now tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. We spoke a couple of days ago about a couple of pilots who were flying across Indonesia who just went off track for 28 minutes because they both fell asleep. Unbelievable situation. That's why you've got the captain and you've got a backup pilot. So if something happens to one, then the other can take over. But when you both fall asleep, it's just disastrous.
As long as that drinks trolley was still in operation, I don't think the passengers would have known what was going on.
Well, that's a very, very good point, isn't it? And most importantly, the drinks trolley wasn't sort of visiting the captain and his co-pilot as well. That's something that we have since learned, that it wasn't that untoward. But what I can tell you is some of the other things that have come to light are very, very concerning and alarming.
Oh, what's happened?
Yeah, so, I mean, there's a positive from the situation.
Yeah.
Because what we've found out is that these two blokes are actually massive fans of the show. And that's a great, great thing, isn't it?
Really?
Huge fans of the show.
I didn't know that.
Who would have thought that when they're flying from A to B, particularly in some of these long-haul flights in between Indonesia, they're actually listening to Nova 919.
Hey, DC?
Yeah,
Are they
DC.
trying to get on the standby list for first class and 50K?
Mate, absolutely. I tell you what, at 9 o'clock when Naughties at 9 comes on, jeez, the boy's up and about, usually. But on this particular occasion, clearly they both fell asleep.
Did they?
And would you believe that we've actually got hold of the black box from that situation?
Really?
Oh, and we're in a bit of trouble, I think, in this particular situation. And when I say we, I mean probably you. So let's just listen to what the black box tells us.
Okay.
And the exact moment, unfortunately, where these two pilots fell asleep.
Okay.
Captain, this is air control. Do you read me?
In the netball circles, we like to call it riding you.
Captain and co-captain, this is air control. Wake up immediately.
So if you've got a player, she'll basically be on your hip the whole time or on your back.
Captain, this is an emergency. Wake up.
But there's been some language that's been used that has been out of control, like girls shaking hands at the end, going like, "Don't touch me, you bleep," that kind of vibe.
Captain, if you're asleep, wake up. Respond ASAP.
Oh, no, Joe, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. The netball chat. Over 150 lives are in danger because of your netball chat. It's awful timing, I've got to say. But, on a long-haul flight.
And to be fair, how did they get hold of the off-air conversation?
It's crazy, isn't it? It's part of the extras via the podcast.
And I don't want to poke holes in your story, but you can only get access to the black box when the plane actually crashes. Everyone was alive and fine.
We've got special access to that as well. There's certainly a message in this, I feel like.
What is
and
it?
It's not about netball.
Oh.
Because I tell you what, Adelaide Thunderbirds, yes. Absolutely top-notch chat.
Yep.
Adelaide B3 Wildcats. Let's just give it to a minute, mate.
Okay. That's right. That hurts even more because we didn't make finals.
You still managed to inject a little bit, didn't you?
Another ping. He gets it. Houston again. Kick looks brilliant. Houston, we don't have a problem.
Please welcome to the Jodie and Hazy Show, Dan Houston.
Yes. Here he is in the flesh. Joins us each and every second week. Dan Houston. Good morning, mate.
Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to joining you every home game. I think we got 5 of the first 6, so it'll be a good month for us.
Yeah, maybe we'll let you play birthday payday at some point. Who's to say?
Sounds good. I definitely won't be doing the 6th though.
So Dan, we're all a bit out of whack also with the start of the footy season. We sort of played 3 or 4 games last week, and then you're starting this week. Does that throw you out a little bit?
It does a little bit.
Yeah.
You do watch a lot of footy before you even get to step foot on the ground. But the boys are, have got their head around that, and we're training hard and pushing through these hot days, and we're looking forward to Sunday, despite it being the last game of the round, and the boys are pumped.
Hey, Dan, did it feel like a bit of an anticlimax for the players last week? And because, obviously we love Port Adelaide games, but I love a traditional start. Richmond, Carlton, maybe on a Thursday night just to kick off the AFL season. It felt like it was a bit of a
soft launch. It's like Dan starting a new relationship and you're launching it on Instagram. You sort of half launch it and don't really,
Yeah, don't really say who. No, Yeah, no,
of seeing someone.
It did feel a little bit odd, especially in Carlton Sport. I love that traditional start, but round zero seemed to go pretty well with a few sellout crowds. So I think the AFL did a good job.
There you go. So take us through that, by the way. Big Blues supporter, eh?
Yeah, love the Blues. Got a good mate, Jack Silvani, who plays there, so it makes it even funner to watch.
There you go.
Okay, well, that's interesting because that was one of my questions in our Getting to Know You segment, and so I'm just going to cross that one off now. Favourite team outside of the Bower? Carlton, good. Done here.
Should we, while we've got you, Dan, should we do a little bit of a get to know you?
Yeah.
Something in the line of this.
Getting to know Houston. Getting to know all about you.
Because we don't really know much about you, apart from the fact that you're an outstanding player for Port Adelaide and you're an all-Australian defender. You're a defender this year, aren't you? Definitely.
I'm a defender that likes to get a bit higher.
Right.
So we will stick with defender, but potentially a little bit of mid.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Slipping into the guts. All right, 60 seconds with Dan Houston. You got some questions there,
I've got
Jodes?
some questions here. If I run out, feel free to contribute.
Okay, here we go.
Are you ready? Dan Houston, most annoying teammate.
Jason Horn-Francis.
Wow. Oh, not around here. Don't
That's a
use
personal
his...
attack as well.
Wow. Shaved head or long hair on you mainly?
I went with shaved head in the summer and then long hair in the winter.
Okay.
Got a good pill to pull it off to.
Can do both, yeah.
Why doesn't your Instagram have a blue tick?
I actually missed the boat with that. I think a few boys signed up and I didn't, and then now I can't get it.
Hey, did anyone sign up and they got rejected?
I think I did it once. But I did it myself.
Streaming service of choice, like your Netflix, Stan, KO.
KO for sport, and then Netflix. I'm pretty happy with.
Who do you room with on the road?
Well, I was usually me and Carl Amon, strictly when I was younger. Then obviously, he's gone now, so now it's just myself.
Best nickname at the club?
Ollie Wines, Neil the Seal.
Most annoying question from sports journalists that you get?
Hazy asked me this morning how my body was.
Oh my
That's
God.
about it. Hate that.
I've got nothing else. That's what starts a conversation when you speak to some of these, because I don't know what to say. So I'm like, how's the body going, mate?
Yeah.
They just roll their eyes and go, yes, good, thanks.
Yeah. Well done. I thought you did pretty well on that.
No, thanks.
Yeah.
Hopefully you know me heaps now after that.
Yeah. And the body is good?
Yeah, the body is good. The body is good. I don't know where you go with those conversations, like how's the body, and then I tell you something, you go, oh yeah, right. And
Yeah.
I've got to explain the exact injury.
Do you say it back to me like, oh, how's your body? And I go, yeah, it's fine, mate.
And then you go into a long list of your SANFL credentials and how many
Yes.
premierships you won.
And I have to, given that Dan's from interstate, I have to explain to him what the sample actually is. And given I don't think he played about 4 games in the sample as a youngster.
Yeah. Dan, we look forward to having you for the duration of the season. Thank you so much for coming in this morning, and all the best on the weekend.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Dan, thank you for being so generous as well, because you brought in a bunch of double passes for the game on Sunday.
Dan organised that, did he?
Yeah, he did.
That's good.
In his back pocket there. We've got 5 doubles, so if you want to head along, give us a call right now, 13 24 10. Port take on the West Coast Eagles this Sunday, Arvo at Adelaide Oval. Book your tickets now at portadelaidefc.com.au or just give us a buzz, 13 24 10.
When you think about the best in the business, you think of Pink, don't you?
Absolutely do. There's no one better.
Yeah, but even the best in the business have their moments where they mess something up. And Pink was performing the other night at her Melbourne concert. This is what she should have been singing.
Great tune, as we always say in the classics. If you're not dancing to that, then guess what? You're a jellyfish. You don't have bones or muscles.
What?
So
We don't say that.
well, don't we? We'll say you're a corpse.
You're a corpse.
Yeah.
Don't mess things up.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway, so during her Melbourne concert in the Summer Carnival tour, they have this segment where they go, it's like Jason's secret song. So Jason is her piano player and he plays a song on the piano and she has to guess what it is, a bit like song,
Wow.
and then sing along. So that's what was supposed to happen. However, sometimes your memory can fail you.
That sounded like the elevator version of God is a DJ.
Everyone just laughing along to it.
I know, but that is like every bloke I've ever met trying to sing along the because I think it's I think it's a female thing that we can remember lyrics. I genuinely do. But every bloke in my life is like, just Hamilton and jump, dance now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as it's kind of in the right spot. And the other thing is when we pick up on some genuine lyrics that are right,
Yeah.
that's all we'll sing.
Yes.
Just one small little snippet of a song over and over and again. And it really, really drives my wife, Cara, insane.
Yeah, but you're the exception to the rule because you seem to know lots of lyrics to lots of songs. I guess because you were a part-time singer at the Lion on the Saturday afternoons,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, but I would always forget lyrics.
Would you?
All the time.
Did you have them written down?
That was probably my fault too, though, as well.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you turned up in the best nick.
I'm not sure I was in a good state to remembering anything, let alone my name, let alone some of these lyrics. But when you were there, you'd always have the lyrics in front of you sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Pink doesn't. And how about how big do you have to get when you're playing song to song,
Yeah.
and you're the theme?
Yes. No, exactly right.
And you're guessing your own songs.
So just, I'm curious about this, just in like an A4 folder with all the lyrics to songs, is that how
Absolutely, that's what it was. So I had an A4 folder, but the real fancy guys would have it on a little iPad. You put it on a stand.
Oh, whoa, don't do that because iPads fail.
They do.
Yeah, and then you're cooked. And then you next minute you're on stage and you've got a crowd of 8 people in front of you, hazy, and you're like, and God is
Yeah, and trust me, when Pink does it, it's funny and it's cute because you're like, it's Pink. But when anyone else does it, and someone like me, you're like, that guy's
cooked.
You know what? That guy's cooked. He's going to vomit.
We're going back in time. Hazy's On This Daisy. In time.
Yeah, the Thursday edition of On This Daisy, where we take you on a direct route down memory lane and just inject you with some knowledge.
Yeah, we don't veer off. Mind. We stick to it, don't we?
No, we do not take shortcuts. We go straight down the guts. Let's go back to 1988. On this day, the 14th of March, the absolute freak show that is Stephen Curry was born in Akron, Ohio. He's 36 years old today. There will never be a better three-point shooter.
He genuinely gets you excited.
I will not believe anyone else will be better at shooting three. 1994, the longest-lasting rainbow was visible for 6 hours continuously from 9 to 3 over Sheffield in England. Clearly, they didn't find the gold, so the rainbow hung around.
Or the leprechauns.
Or those pesky little leprechauns that are trying to chase it. 2022, Dolly Parton removes herself from the ballot for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, saying, I don't feel that I've earned that right.
What? You're Dolly Parton.
Well, also, but why would you do that? Like,
I don't know.
Just take it.
Just roll with the punches.
Yeah. Number one song on March 14th, 1992, used to be the theme song in my MySpace. It's I'm Too Sexy by Right Said Fred. No, it didn't.
You sure?
But isn't this an outrageous song?
Isn't it?
I'm too sexy for my love, too sexy for my love, love's going to leave me.
I think he said Whiteman Park is a hoot. Come to EnviroFest 2024. Learn about Whiteman Park's birds and discover ways to improve your sustainability with hands-on workshops and demonstrations. Plus, there'll be market stalls, food trucks and heaps of kids' activities. EnviroFest 2024 at Whiteman Park on March 23 from 10 till 3. You'd be wise to go to whitemanpark.com.au.